At least according to the model the Fed is working with right now, the better our economy does, the more people have jobs, the higher our interest rates remain. Alright you guys, my name is Christopher McGee. I'm the owner of Halcyon Real Estate. We're affiliated with the Keller Williams Market Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. This is the numbers and the nuances where you come weekly in order to know exactly what's going on in Utah's housing market right now. Not last quarter, not last year, but right now. I'm always bringing you the information of last week's numbers off the MLS on several data points, and I chart that so that you can see the trends over time and know exactly what's going on. Today is Monday the 13th of January 2025, and we're about to go over what happened last week other than me getting over the plague. My whole house was so sick. I made a video anyway with a backwards Dodgers hat. I wasn't looking too professional, but at least I represented for the right team. Alright, as always, we'll get into it. I'll just tell you my nuanced opinion of what the data tells us first, and then I'll just show you the data. Let's get into it. So there were just a couple of small movements in the market this last week, namely inventory actually bumped up, that's not expected, and the number of homes that are currently under contract bumped up this last week. That's not really expected. Neither of those things do we expect to happen during the course of winter in Utah, but then neither of them really came up in a big way, and a 1 week bump one direction or the other doesn't really make a trend, as I've said many times before. So we'll follow the numbers as we always do, and we'll see what goes on, if anything other than what's normal indeed happens. Average list price jumped up pretty significantly this last week, which is not to say that homes are being sold higher, but it is to say that the homes that hit the market last week hit the market at a much higher than recent average price. And so you'll see what the numbers are, but we'll see how long those homes sit on the market and how often they need to and how dramatically they need to drop their asking prices before those homes get sold. Speaking of price reductions, the last 2 weeks have seen fairly dramatic increases in the number of price reductions that have occurred on homes on the market the previous week. So we'll see if that continues to come up. It was trending down, but the last couple of weeks we've seen it bump up pretty dramatically. Finally, interest rates took a pretty uncomfortable jump up this last week. And here's where I'm going to give you an uncomfortable truth if you don't know this uncomfortable, inconvenient truth already. The better our economy does, at least according to the model the Fed is working with right now, the better our economy does, the more people have jobs, the higher our interest rates remain. I'm not sure at what point that model changes, but that does seem to be the model that's going on right now. And you can follow the dance between jobs reports Fridays, which comes out the first Friday of every month to report on the previous month's number of jobs that were created, and what the Fed's language and policy changes are immediately following. And because of what the Fed's behavior and policy changes are immediately following, we see the mortgage rate industry move in suit. And in December of 2024, just so happened that 256,000 jobs were created, and that was a much stronger finish to the year than was expected, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And so hence the bump up in interest rates this last week. All right, let's look at these numbers. Here's where things are in the Utah housing market as of January 13th, 2025. Our current inventory stands at 9,288, bumped up from the previous week, like I said, but this is clearly still trending down. But let me just cut in here again and say, for us at the beginning of the year, in the middle of winter, to be hovering over 9,000 homes on the market is fantastic. Whatever demand does this year to take bites out of our level of inventory, at least we started this high, as opposed to 2020 and 2021, where during the course of the summer, we were sitting around like 1,500 to 2,000 homes. That's why when demand was so high, the supply was so low, our prices got insane. So blah, blah, blah. We're really happy to see our inventory as high as it is right now. I say that often and I'll continue to say it. Okay, last week, our average days on market was 65 days, and that's up from the previous week, and this is clearly trending up. As I said, last week's average list price bumped up. It came up to $821,297. This we can see is still trending up. Now, last week's average sold price came to $789,085, and so the difference between average list price and average sold price came again in the buyer's favor to the tune of $32,212, and that difference between list and sold price looks to be trending up thanks to some winter specific anomalies, like I said last week, but this is generally in favor of the buyer, as it is this week to the tune of 32 grand. Okay, last week the number of homes that sold in Utah came to 351. That number is trending trending down as we expect in winter. The number of homes currently under contract, which bumped up, as I said, to 3,767, still obviously trending down. Last week, the number of price reductions that happened on homes actively on the market was 771. Another big jump up. That's 2 weeks in a row, as I said, but trending down still. Last week, the number of listing contracts that were either canceled, expired, or withdrawn from the MLS came to 310. Big jump down after the first of the year / first of the month jump up that we always have at the first of a month or the first of a year. We could see this still moderately trending up though. And interest rates, as I said, bumped up to 7.24%, and they are trending up since the beginning of the fourth quarter of 2024. And that is it for this week, you guys. Thanks for watching. Of course, as always, if you have any questions about any of the information here, hit me in the comments. I'm going to be happy to respond. If you or anybody you know is interested in moving here in Utah, especially in Salt Lake County or Utah County or Tooele County or Davis County, I'm going to be happy to team up with you. Make sure you always know what's happening next. Make sure you're never blindsided in a real estate transaction. Make sure everything's always buttoned up, and to the best of my ability, make sure you enjoy the experience. Nobody loves moving. It's stressful, but we'll do it as well as it can be done. We'll have fun with it where the fun can be had. And finally, if you are interested in staying up to date on the housing market here in Utah, there is no better way than to hit that subscribe and stay up on it with me from week to week. Thanks for watching this week, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye, bye-bye.